Welcome again to another edition of Louisiana Catalyst Podcast, The Link, sponsored by EPC, Etheridge Pipeline and Conduit. We certainly thank our friends Caleb and Josh Etheridge for all the work that they're doing in the community, but certainly for supporting The Link as we get connected with entrepreneurs, innovators, and just industries, experts, and specialists throughout this region. I'm your co-host, Duran Talley, Vice President of Louisiana Catalyst. As always, here with us, our president, my good friend, my brother, Mr. Quentin Durr.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How's everybody doing?
Doing good. And we have with us today the most innovative real estate company in all of Louisiana. I'm not going to just limit us to the territory of the North or Northeast. In the state.
In the South.
In the South.
Yeah. We went regional.
We went regional.
Yes. Mr. Harrison Lilly, how you doing, man?
Hey, man, I'm good. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, certainly, man. Man, just tell us, man, because here over the last 4 or 5 years, right when people would think that, COVID and this and economy and that, there's this one company just slinging houses like they're selling hotcakes, man. Tell us, man, what makes Harrison Lilly team special, though?
Man, first it's going to be the people, right? I work with some of the most talented, hardest working people who saw a vision and bought in, and I can't thank them enough for that. The other thing is that you said it earlier, it's innovation. We believe that a high level that real estate, at least in our region, our area, was done a very old school way, and that's fine. If that's what you like, do it. But I believe there was a different way, and that way was through heavy marketing, through relationships, through creating big systems and support for agents, and we stuck to that at a high level. And here 5 years later, we're absolutely killing it. Our realtors on average are selling more houses than any other company that I've ever heard of. But definitely here locally, we're 5x and 10x in our competition per agent.
Wow.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's what stood out to me was some of the ways that just from an operational standpoint that we talked about with innovation and taking some of that, let the agents focus on what they're good at. And you provide the support to take some of that where they can just focus on handling and maintaining the relationships. And it goes back to a relationship.
Yeah.
Most people just, some reason, forget about that when it comes to business. And that's the most important part.
Yeah, well, if you're focused on trying to be the professional in paperwork, the professional in marketing, the professional in flood zones, insurance, mortgage, title, how can you be the professional of a relationship?
Come on now.
You won't. You need to be focused on what makes you money. And for me and my business, that's people and relationships. So if we can leverage the things that actually aren't dollar productive for somebody and keep them in their 20, which their 20 as being a realtor is people, we keep them there, they'll win.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And the thing is, to add to that, what frustrates a person's workday? What frustrates a person's workflow? Paperwork.
Anything that doesn't give them energy, right? Yeah. So we have realtors inside our business who write the best contracts I've ever seen. It's like they're paralegals or attorneys themselves, right? But that's what gives them energy. And so we want to take away what doesn't give them energy, what doesn't make them thrive, and say, hey, look, we'll handle that for you. Let's do what you're great at and help you go win every day.
Right.
Yeah.
So we even do that at Origin. So that's what stood out because I recognize that model very quickly. Quentin is not the best underwriter.
Yeah.
Quentin does not do cash flow analysis. I can. I don't.
But you would rather fill your eyeballs.
Yeah. So I don't underwrite. I don't order my appraisals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't do anything but manage that relationship and help negotiate what that should look like. From there, we have an entire support system that takes all that off of me so that I can focus on the main thing, which is relationships. So it's funny is I think every industry could adopt that model and be successful if you just build out support teams around your key people and let your key people do what they need to do. And you'll be shocked at, wow, this works.
Yeah, and we're not there yet. I recently opened up a roofing company with my little brother and business partner, Daniel Gilly. Yeah, and it's going super well, so thank you, Monroe. Really appreciate y'all. But the thing that that attracted Daniel Gilley to what we were doing. I said, I want to create a roofing company that models the sales team strategy that we've created inside of real estate. And he was like, man, I actually, because he owned a roofing company previously, made a ton of money, did really well. And I hired him to consult and help us get it opened. And he just never left. And I was like, hey, dude, like your retainer ended a long time ago. Why are you still here? He goes, I'm attracted to what you're building. I'm attracted to this model because if I had this, I never would have got rid of my company. Yeah. Because I would have gotten rid of all the things that I hated about this business, and I would have been able to make more money, have more energy, be a better dad, be a better husband. And I was like, okay, so you want to come hang out and work with us? He's like, yeah, I think I do. And so we instantly got like 10, 15 years worth of construction roofing experience just like that because we put somebody inside their energy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, no, that's powerful, man. And we see it every day in sports, right? What this reminds me of is the greatest coaches are the ones that are able to play the players in the roles that they play in. There's some 3-and-D guys. There's some above the rim guys. There's some just pure score guys. But knowing that keeps your players engaged and obviously create winning coaches.
Yeah, you build around it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What are you seeing in this industry right now? And Quentin, I know you can speak to it too, from even the lending, the banking perspective, but just from a housing market perspective, what are we seeing right now in 2023? Cost of living is elevating. People are crying about the cost of eggs and different things like that. What is the appetite right now in the market?
Yeah. Man, when you said eggs, I was like, man, if the price of eggs are our problem, we got bigger problems. But no. Man, the climate obviously is everything's expensive. Inflation's through the roof. Interest rates are high. We saw a dip a month ago. They immediately shot back up. All signs. I just met with Justin Underwood the other day. He came and taught our team, kind of letting us know what was happening with rate changes. And, it seems like all pointers they are still climbing just a little bit right now. We're hoping for some settlement past May, but we don't know what that settlement looks like. And with the way that we've just seen this world run lately, we just assume that everything's going to be volatile at all times. And my predictions have largely not come true over the last 2 years. So all I know is I'm going to work hard through whatever season's thrown at me. But what I see is that I think we're just in our new norm. Like being uncomfortable is normal.
That's right.
And being uncomfortable creates growth.
Yeah.
So become innovative and work your tail off and make it happen. And I think that's all you can truly prepare for is just be ready to duck, be ready to dodge, be ready to move.
Yeah, I'm curious. So, and I started in banking right at the end of 2007, right before the first crash, right?
So you were like, money, not.
Yeah. So I came in. Well, prime was at 7%, and then all of a sudden everything went haywire. So my whole experience in banking has been chaos.
Yeah.
So I'm not a banker that knew the glory days and then, now I'm upset because so I came in with chaos. And so I'm like, this is normal.
Yeah.
But in the real estate market, in my mind, I keep thinking, like, when is the innovative spark going to happen because it seems like the cost of building is extremely high.
Absolutely.
Right? Mm-hmm. The rates now are high.
Money is expensive.
Demand for materials is taking forever. So it seems like it's too expensive to build a home, and now it's starting to get too expensive to buy a home. Mm-hmm. Where do you see, have you seen anything where there's now an opportunity to build housing at a more affordable way? Like, I feel like it seems like there's somewhere that something's got to break, or where somebody says, you know what, I figured out a way instead of $180 a square foot to build a house, we can get it back to $100.
Oh, I don't think you'll ever see that ever again. But so to answer your question, I think that it's going to create it has to start with a behavioral change in the way people spend money and the way people view housing. I don't know if y'all remember, do y'all remember going into your grandparents' house and the house may have been too big or too small for them, and it was really outdated. They had red or green or brown shag carpet and laminate countertops and didn't have nice backsplash. Nothing was updated.
Right.
And they didn't care,
right?
They were comfortable. Their needs were met. Well, I think our generation is nope, need granite, need 12-foot ceilings, need all this. And then statistically speaking, every 5 to 7 years, we're looking for a new house. We're looking for an upgrade, a side grade to get into the neighborhood that our friends are in. We're viewing housing as a luxury rather than a necessity. And until that behavior changes, supply and demand is going to do its thing, right? And so demand's high and supply is low. So what happens to pricing?
Yeah.
right? And so until we as consumers change our behaviors, whoever they is, like I don't know who they is. Like is it is it Illuminati? Like I'm not sure, but whoever it is
they need to stop.
They need to stop, but we have to make them.
Yeah.
And so until behaviors change, I think it'll just be the way it is.
Yeah, I agree. We just went and visited my grandma, and her house still looks like it did when I was. Now we did put new floors, and they changed out the old square tile for sheetrock.
Yeah.
But that laminate on that bar is the same thing I ate on when I was in
Is it rose
85.
pink?
It's like a lime green sprinkled on there. You know what I mean?
Terrible.
But we call the bathrooms the blue room and the green room, because they're still
because they're like 6x6 little tiles with concrete mesh behind them.
Yes.
Remodeling those is terrible.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
indeed.
so you're right. And but you know what? Betty Durr is still as comfortable day in that house today as she was 30 years ago.
Right, and it's based on not luxury, but necessity. Her behavior is, my needs are met.
Yeah.
And that's just not a behavior that our generation does anymore.
It's I guess we kind of likened it to car shopping, I guess. We're not looking at houses as houses. We're kind of looking at them like, I get a car every 3 to 5 years, 7 years. Maybe I should do that with my two.
I know better than this conversation either.
To be clear, it is for tax purposes. I have no option. I can either give it to Uncle Sam or I can drive a nice vehicle. I choose me.
Hey, that's your business tip of the day, folks.
Yeah.
Marketing wise, man, I've seen Chris Rux. I've seen some of your others doing some pretty unique things, man.
Yeah.
What's your message to your team about their brand and their marketing efforts?
Yeah. I attended a marketing little seminar one day. I honestly can't remember the speaker's name. I don't even remember who invited me there. In fact, no, it was Justin Underwood invited me there. And the guy said something to me that was very instrumental in how I thought about marketing. And because at that point in my life, I was like, had all these ideas. Like, I want to create this video and I want to do this. And I had lists of things I wanted to do, but I wasn't an expert on that topic yet, so I wouldn't do it. And the guy said something very simple. He said, implement, then perfect. Right? Like you become better at an act when you actually go teach it. So when I'm teaching my team or teaching other people, I oftentimes talk about things that I need to get better at, whether it's discipline or consistency, or I find the gaps in my life, study them, and I go regurgitate that and reinforce it.
Right.
All right. And so I go and start teaching the team implement and perfect. And I was like, I don't care what you do, but you have to do something. You owe me an hour today to learn social media. You owe me an hour today to go do door knockers. You owe me an hour today of making short form video. I don't care what it is, but you got to do something. And that was the thing. And so everybody kind of like they did what gave them energy. Because I don't want anybody doing anything that doesn't give them energy.
Right.
And so we had people who like Taylor Woods. I don't know if y'all seen her, up and comer. She is killing right now. First year realtor. She got 6 pending right now. She's gonna crush it this year. And she left her full-time job teaching last year, and she decided video was her thing. She puts out a piece of content every single day, and because that gives her energy, being that social spotlight, her pipeline's full. Chris Rux. His first chore with me when he started, because I didn't have any leads to give him. He started with me when I was new, so I didn't know what I was doing either. And I was like, Chris, I want you to go through everybody in your social media, everybody in your cell phone. I want you to call or text them today, right now. So for 6 weeks, that dude locked himself in a room kind of like this one and just sat there. I'd walk in there and he'd just be dead with a cup of coffee in his hand, like, I'm messaging, man.
Right.
And he said, I'm going to create an online ecosystem. And he called it Bayou Homes on Instagram. And he adds every single person he can find every single day. He follows them. He calls. He messages them, asks them to follow him. And then he posts all of our listings every single week. And every single day he's posting content on it. And everybody who likes or hearts it or follows or whatever, they get a message from Chris. It's to the point where people who are my friends are like, will you please tell Chris Rux to like leave me alone? And I was like, well, all you got to do is tell him that when it's time for you to buy a house, he's number one, or send him a referral today. I promise you he'll stop. Because I'm not going to ask him to stop. That dude is doing his job.
That's right.
Right.
And he has created, dude, an income and a pipeline and a life like no other because he was willing to do what gave him energy. And man, he's crushing it. I can give you really there's a bio of every single person on the team and what they like to do inside that realm. And as long as they'll be consistent and do a little bit every day, they're going to win. And so that's it. We just ask them to do a little bit every single day.
Yeah, no, that's phenomenal, and it's showing. It's showing in your team culture, even the community perception of what the Harrison Lilly team is. It seems light. It seems that everybody is being played to their strengths.
Yeah,
I love your phrase. It gives them energy, and when we look at your brand, and on during the holiday season and get that apple pie, I can tell that it wasn't a chore for them to bring it here. They wanted to bring this here.
Dude, it's the best event of the year. Dude, so we spent $20,000 on pies this year. And dude, I bet we got 10 pieces of business immediately, which pays for $20,000 right off the top, right?
Exactly.
So that activity was paid for, and now we're getting referrals, and now people know that we care about them. Like, it was more than just a house sale. It's a pie, it's a phone call, it's a how's your kid doing. It is being the mayor of our town, whether you vote me or not. You know,
Staying top of mind.
that's right. Mind share.
Yeah.
That's it.
So what is next for Harrison, the businessman, the entrepreneur? Because I feel like real estate, that's a passion.
Real estate. Now you got roofing.
Roofing. So what's next? I feel like you have a lot of things coming down the pipeline, and if you're going to do it, I know you're going to do it well.
Yeah. So everybody knows about roofing and real estate. I have a few other things that I'm partners in. I own some real estate and rentals, Airbnb, stuff like that. And yes, I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I'm not stopping, and the vision is nowhere close to complete. But the next big thing for me is R2, which you actually met me there last week and kind of just told you what my vision is over there. But essentially, we want to help leaders and entrepreneurs grow business because that's where my passion is at, is really more on the leadership part of this. Like, selling houses is a byproduct of leading people into financial wealth, right? Like, because that's what real estate is for me. It's forced savings accounts through equity, it's appreciation, it's tax benefits, and getting to lead my friends and family members into growing wealth by doing something you have to do anyway, live somewhere. Right? And so my passion is in leadership and helping lead people into better things. So that's what R2 means for me, and what I'm hoping for is to house 30 to 40 entrepreneurs who want to come in there, grow, create a community, and help each other's businesses grow over time.
No, I think, and I got to tour the facility, and I think I hadn't even talked to Duran about this, but I can tell you already.
Come on,
you know
Duran,
what I mean?
Count me in.
I don't need to ask.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
I think Duran and I both know if it's going to benefit the community and create and strengthen the entrepreneurial ecosystem, count us in.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't do Catalyst because we make a lot of money doing this.
Yeah, this is a passion project.
100%.
Yeah, I have seen, and I can confirm, this is a passion project. These guys are in love with helping people grow stuff. Yeah.
We're just trying to get to where it doesn't cost us money and just only time. You know what I mean?
That'd be cool, right?
Right. That would be beautiful. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But we knew, like, when I saw Saul with all these rooms, I was immediately like, hey, count us in. We can come. We can help entrepreneurs, connect them with our resource partners and state agencies, keep people aware. Because at the end of the day, a stronger business community just is a better quality of life for everybody.
Certainly.
Yeah, and increases what our city could be. Monroe, West Monroe, whichever place you live doesn't matter to me. But increase the local economy. Come up with some great ideas. Let's host some big businesses here. Let's keep tax dollars in town, and let's grow something worth living in.
Right.
Certainly. Well, is there anything else you want to share with this, man? We've kind of discussed a lot, man, but this conversation could continue for a very long time if we're not careful. So anything else you want to share?
No, man, I really enjoyed the opportunity. I appreciate y'all having me out, and very impressed with the facility and everything you guys are doing here.
Appreciate it. I do want to, one thing, July 15th,
Yes.
2023.
Yes.
Catalyst, City of Monroe,
Yes.
with the Planning and Urban Development. We are putting on a business expo at the Civic Center.
Okay.
And we would love to have you.
Yes.
Okay.
Because more entrepreneurs like yourself need to be there, but also connecting the business world together. We're going to have speakers, coaches, motivate. We love to have you get up and talk. So it's more of a larger roundtable mindset than here's the expo, come buy something.
Public speaking is my favorite thing. Didn't you know that? It's not.
He has but listen to that voice. He has a beautiful radio voice, man.
We'll put you behind a tent like the Wizard or something.
Oh, that would fit me. That'd be great. Yeah.
Yep. Harrison, again, thank you. Thank you as always for your time, man. And thank you for selling us, me and my wife, our beautiful home over in East Monroe out in the Swartz area. We got a lake behind us and everything, man.
That's right.
Thank you all. Y'all actually gave us that home. It didn't even hit the market before Chris Rux was calling us on FaceTime. I got a house for y'all. I got a house for y'all. Hadn't even been listed yet.
Yeah.
That's what his team is willing to do for you all, and we certainly appreciate it.
Oh, man, it's our pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Indeed. And you all have just tuned in to another episode, another edition of Louisiana Catalyst, the link sponsored by Etheridge Pipeline and Conduit. Y'all have a good day.